Hey guys, it's Brett with Brett's Crappy Shots here today, and today I've got the Crosman F4. It's a Walmart exclusive, and you know, it is a nitro piston, and they claim with alloy pellets it gets up to 1,200 feet per second, and with lead 1,000 feet per second. I've got some crony data that I'm going to post at the end of the video, and it gets pretty close to that 1,000 mark with lead pellets, using the Premier Hollowpoints 7.9 grain, and I've got the Tasco scope on there that I got from Walmart for $17.99. It's a 3x9 by, I believe, 40. $17.99. This gun has broke 2 scopes, and so I put this cheapie on here, and it's actually held up very well. I can't believe it. So enough of me rambling on about it. It weighs 6 pounds. And the total length is 43.5 inches. And Walmart's got it on sale right now for $79.99. Comes with a scope. Might as well just take it and throw it in the trash. This Tasco, you know, that Walmart sells for $17.99, it's actually done fairly good on this gun. So the newer models, this is an older model, the newer ones have a thumb hole stock. It's a completely different looking stock from this one. But they're both F4s. You can get them from Walmart. But all the ones you'll be able to find now, I believe, will have the thumb hole stocks on them. But I'm going to put this here. And yes, I'm shooting from a bench rest. But I've got some lube on here and some lube right here, and I'm actually kind of surprised at just how well it does. Granted, if you've got the proper artillery hold and you can master that, it'll probably be better than this. But this gun, it shoots great. It's a very hard-hitting gun. It's accurate, and it's $79. This is the 177 version, and today I'll be shooting the Premier Hollowpoints and the Gammo red fires. I have tried the Premier wad cutters, 7.4 grain. I even tried the Gammo round balls. Mosquitoes drive me crazy. They didn't do well at all. Tried the Winchester round nose, and I believe I found online that it said it was 9 grains, because I could 9.8 grains is what I found online. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I didn't weigh them. And then the Premier Destroyers 7.4, they did fairly well. But they weren't quite as good as the Premier Hollowpoints and the Gammo red fires. Tried the Gold Flights, which they actually did fairly well. But they were in the same category as the Destroyer. Not really good enough for me to want to brag about it and put it on here. And then the Gammo Silent Cats. These these perform about the same to me. You could hit a broadside of a barn with this, and you could probably do about the same with the Silent Cats. But other than that, let's get to shooting. I'm going to do 2 10-shot groups, and then we'll go up and look at the target, see how accurate it is. And the first 2 shots of each group will be off to the right of my target in a column that I've got for sighting, just to kind of see, you know, where it's going. And yeah, I've got plenty of cushion. I'm short, and this new table and bench rest puts the guns up higher than what this chair is for me. So starting with the Premier Hollowpoints. Remember, the first 2 are going to be sighters, just to make sure I'm still on target. This gun is loud. It is not suppressed in any way. Cocking effort is about 30 pounds. It's not too bad. Bugs are eating me alive. Alright, now let's start shooting at the target. And I'm not shooting for bullseye, I'm shooting for groups here, so. I'm not really holding the gun, basically just keeping it from moving is about all I'm doing. I'm just kind of letting it slide on the gun rest, or the bench rest. That pellet fit a little loose compared to the others. And that one actually wound up shooting a little low. And I guess it's because it was fitting a little loose. That's the thing about these Crosmans. They're very inconsistent. But if you could go through and sort them out, that'd actually be probably the best pellet for this gun. But they do fairly good. That one's fitting real tight. And that one's real loose. I forgot how many that was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. That is 8 on target. Nine on target. Ten. Okay. Now, first two shots I'm going to shoot off to the right, just kind of see where it's at. And then I'll go to the real target. These leave quite the hole too. They are a little expensive, but if they work in your gun, it's worth it. These work very well, but they are, you know, I think $8 or $9 for 150 of them, but you can get them from Walmart. I have done some trigger. I did a trigger mod to it. You know, pulled out the spring and all, and put in one of the roller bearings, like my air gun reviews. Kenny Cormandy does. This gun, it's my mom's. She's kind of let me borrow it to test it and review it and all. And so far, you know, a couple starlings down. These are going pretty much right in the same hole. I have no idea how many I've shot, but these are great pellets at 25 yards, granted. I don't know what they do out beyond that. That was a flyer. Granted, it hit right in bullseye. I have no idea how many I've shot, and where they're all pretty much in the same hole. I count 4 holes, and I know I've shot more than that. 1, 2, 3. Maybe I'm at 7 or 6. That's either 7 or 8. And granted, you could probably do better. And this is 10 or 11, maybe even 12. We'll stop at this one. Alright. So, I'm going to pause you. We'll go up to the target, talk about the target. And the accuracy of this gun. It feels like a good gun. I've shot probably about 600 or 700 times so far over this week of having it, and it's done great. It really has. And you know, $79 probably can't go wrong. You know, modify the trigger, put that little roller bearing in there, put you a scope on. You know, I paid $18 for this scope, and it does great. So, I mean, if you're looking for something economical, kind of like the Benjamin Prowler, something that you can just go out, hit your target with enough power to take it down. You know, you can take down squirrels, you can take down birds. I don't know if you'd go after a rabbit. It probably has enough power for a rabbit, but for rabbit, I try to, you know, I wouldn't advise, you know, 177, but that's just me. I'd say the legal limit, you could probably do it with a 177, but you know, squirrel, birds, pesting, you know, it's definitely got plenty of power. Most of these, the premieres are, I believe, in the 900s. They're not quite at that 1,000 mark, although I have, you know, put a couple through that did hit 1,000. Granted, I still had a little bit of lubricant or something on my hands, and it probably dieseled a little. So I would say it's a fun gun, it's a cheap gun, and you can hit your target at least at 25 yards. I don't know about beyond that, but at 25 yards, it does the job. Okay, here's where I did the sighters. That's the Gammo sighters, and here's where I did the Crosman premieres. Here's the grouping with the Crosman premieres, and these are the loose fitting ones, and these were the tight fitting ones. So I don't know, it does fairly good. And you know, if you go through and sort them out, you get even better with them. Here's the Gammo red fires, and you know, most of them went right in here. Got 2 over here, and then 3 down here. And I can't tell for sure how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so it was just 10 shots. But those do great. Well, that's all I have for you today on that. Next up will be the Nitro Venom. Thanks guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Okay, here's the crony data. Here's one on the F4 with the Crosman destroyers, and oop, I lost it. Crosman destroyers, and it had a high of 1,021 and a minimum of 921. So there was 100 FPS spread there, which honestly, that one that was 1,000, it could have been dieseling a little bit. The gun was still fairly new when I did this, and hadn't been really shot that much. So it seemed to normalize there about 950-ish. The average was about 953, so that's not too bad. And then so these are the Gammo red fires. A minimum of 918, a high of 949, an average of 929. That's 14 to 15 foot-pounds of energy. So that's moving along pretty good. It's a 7.8 grain pellet, and it's got that red polymer tip, so it can do some damage. Then the Crosman Gold Flights, they're an 8.5 grain, and they're moving along at about 830, right in that area. The shot number 15 there, that's 1,142. That's probably where I had some lube still on my fingers, and so it's hard to tell. But a low of 804. It wasn't the most accurate pellet either. Next, the Winchester 9.8 grain. I think my information that I found online about the weight of that pellet is incorrect, because I mean, it's moving them out pretty quick. And you see one that's 1,785. I honestly don't know what crap that was. I'm guessing the chronograph just completely misread that one somehow. But for the most part, you know, it was staying right around 960, 970, right in that range. Not too bad. It raised it up with that pellet to be a 20 foot-pounds of energy, if it truly is 9.8 grains, which I doubt it. And then the Crosman Hollowpoints got an average of 923 feet per second, which is still right there at the 14 to 15 foot-pounds of energy. A max of 939, a minimum of 909, and that's honestly across all 40 shots right there. It only had an extreme spread of 30 and a standard deviation of 7, so that's not too bad at all. The F4 is fairly consistent to be a break barrel. Then the round balls, I only did 5 shots with those because they were just all over the place. It was ridiculous. It was actually kind of fun, but extremely loud. They were just slow moving. They didn't seal properly in the barrel, so. And then the wad cutters, the Crosman wad cutters, got 17 shots there, standard deviation of 19.76, an average of 936. It had a low of 894, which I think that's inconsistencies in the pellets, because they seem to be very inconsistent along with the Crosman Hollowpoints, but the Hollowpoints did the best. So that's all I got for you right now. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, share, comment, and subscribe.